Hi everybody and welcome to day 49 of Through the Bible in 1 Year. In today's Bible study video, we're going to be covering Numbers 16 and Numbers 17 as we continue through the book of Numbers and ultimately through the Bible in 1 year. So let's literally jump straight into Numbers 16 and see what the text has for us today. Numbers 16 verse 1 reads, Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Too much upon you, seeing all the congregation holy, every one of them, and the Lord among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. So what we literally got here is a coup in a sense. Now let's go back to verse 1. Korah, okay, he was basically of the house of Levi. Then we have Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab. So if you go back to earlier in the book of Numbers, Eliab was the son of Helon, I remember, or something like that. Basically, that went back to the tribe of Zebulun. Okay, so we've got someone from the Levites, someone from Zebulun, and Peleth from Reuben. Okay, and it's actually interesting because also the scripture says they actually took 250 princes of the assembly. Okay, as well. Okay, so it's actually interesting, and they're just literally saying, okay, you're doing too much, basically. We want us to literally switch it up. And it's actually interesting. I think this is really interesting, especially a few chapters back when Moses was literally like, well, this is too much. Okay, and then the Lord said, call 70 elders and we'll literally disperse some of the spirit from you into them. Okay, so Moses has already given off power and delegated stuff. So it's actually interesting what these men are actually doing here. Okay, and this is really interesting because I want to take you back to Numbers 12 where it talked about how Moses was the meekest man in all the earth. Okay, because look at his response to this challenge. Okay, verse 4, And when Moses heard, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will shew who is and holy, and will cause to come near unto him. Even whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. So he doesn't puff himself up or claim to be something special. He literally just says, okay, Korah, tomorrow the Lord's going to decide who he has chosen, who he has picked, basically. Okay, which I think is really, it's just humble. Okay, so look what happens next. This do, take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be, the man whom the Lord doth choose, he holy. Too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear I pray you, ye sons of Levi, a small thing unto you that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto him. And he hath brought thee near, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also. So Moses is literally trying to reason with him, saying, look, the Lord separated the Levites, okay, so you can do his service. And he said, isn't that enough for you? You also want to come and actually have the priesthood as well. So he's literally saying the Lord basically promoted the Levites, okay, which obviously Korah would fall under as son of Kohath, basically. But he's literally saying to him, look, you also want basically to be the head as well. That's what he's basically saying. Okay, so let's keep going. 11, For which cause thou and all thy company gathered together against the Lord, and what Aaron that ye murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, We will not come up. So these two men decided, we're not coming up to have this conversation. Okay, a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of a land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us. Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. So they're literally, that's their justifications basically. They're basically coming from the standpoint that you haven't delivered on the promises, okay, which the Lord was about to deliver on them before they actually decided to start walking in unbelief, okay. And Moses was very wroth and said unto the Lord, respect not their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou on all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. And take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer. 250 censers thou also, and Aaron each his censer. Excuse me. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. So this is actually interesting. So they're all basically going through this procedure where everyone's got their censer and they're basically looking to see who the Lord accepts. This is something that's going to be really, or made even more famous through Elijah, okay, in the book of 1 Kings, okay, where Elijah's literally going to make the same sort of proposition to the false prophets and say literally, let's both do our offerings, and the one whose offering is accepted by fire by the Lord is obviously from the one true God, basically. So it's really synonymous. It might have even been why Elijah would actually come around later on and actually do this, basically because of this, okay. Verse 18, and he took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. Okay, so typically the Lord's about to deliver a message. 20, and the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest he be consumed in all their sins. So the Lord's basically put the proposition before them. Look, anybody who wants to be safe, flee from Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Get away from their tents, basically. So Moses has actually gone to deliver this message now, and let's see what actually happens here. 27. So they get up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for not of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, the Lord hath not sent me. So Moses is literally saying here, if these men die just literally like as just an ordinary kind of death, then the Lord has not sent him. Okay. 30. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. So Moses is literally saying, these men are not supposed to die a normal death. What's actually going to happen is the earth is actually going to open up and consume them and everything they actually have. And that's going to be the sign, the token that the Lord is actually orchestrating this. Okay. 31. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder there under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that unto Korah, and all goods. They and all that unto them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up. So they're all seeing this, and they're saying, okay, look, let's run, basically, because we don't want the same thing to actually happen to us. Okay. And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. So the 250 men that literally conspired with them, the Lord consumed them. Okay, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter down the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates, a covering of the altar, for they offered them before the Lord. Therefore they are hallowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers whereof they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad, a covering of the altar. So the Lord's basically saying, rear these up, make them a covering, and literally let these be a sign for anyone else basically coming after him, saying, this is what happened to 250 people, that obviously wanted to offer fire and actually try and take over the congregation. Okay. 40. A memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger which not of the seed of Aaron come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he be not as Korah and his company, as the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses. But on the morrow all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, Ye have killed the people of the Lord. So imagine this. These men come to Moses and Aaron and say, look, we basically want to take over. Now the Lord literally brings forth vengeance and justice and judgment on these people basically, and if these people don't turn around and say, okay, let's continue to follow the Lord, they say literally, you've killed the Lord's people. Okay. 42. And it came to pass, when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked toward the tabernacle of the congregation, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. And they fell upon their faces. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, and make an atonement for them. For there is wrath gone out from the Lord, the plague is begun. So imagine this. Not only is he one of the most humble man, okay, around in this time, okay, look how much love he actually has for these people, that although they're literally trying to murmur against him and talk bad against him and all these different kind of things, he's still saying, look, let's do these procedures. He's instructing Aaron to do particular stuff in order to protect them and save them from the plague that's actually coming from the Lord. 47. And Aaron took as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation, and behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people, and he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, beside them that died about the matter of Korah. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. Okay, so that wraps up the first part of today's Bible study video. Let's get into the next part, and this is actually interesting because look what actually happens. 17 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and take of every one of them a rod according to the house of fathers, of all their princes according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods. Okay, 12. Write thou every man's name upon this rod. And I believe the Lord doing this, okay, is fitting based on just what's just happened, in the sense that the people have just, part of the people have tried to take over, and now I believe the Lord's just re-establishing Moses and Aaron, okay, more so Aaron, okay, in his line of the priesthood. And I believe it's fitting because of what Moses actually alluded to when he said, talking to Korah, okay, the Lord's blessed you with all of this stuff, working on his specific stuff, and you also want the priesthood. So I believe this is particularly one of the reasons why the Lord is actually doing what he's about to do in this short piece of text here. Okay. Verse 3. And thou shalt write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi, for one rod for the head of the house of their fathers. And thou shalt lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, where I will meet with you. And it shall come to pass, the man's rod whom I shall choose shall blossom, and I will make to cease from me the murmurings of the children of Israel, whereby they murmur against you. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod, a piece, for each prince one, according to their fathers' houses, 12 rods, and the rod of Aaron among their rods. And Moses laid up the rods before the Lord in the tabernacle of witness. And it came to pass that on the morrow Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded, and brought forth buds, and bloomed blossoms, and yielded almonds. And Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord unto all the children of Israel, and they looked and took every man his rod. And the Lord said unto Moses, bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the rebels, and thou shalt quite take away their murmurings from me, that they die not. And Moses did as the Lord commanded him, so did he. And the children of Israel spake unto Moses, saying, behold, we die, we perish, we all perish. Whosoever cometh anything near unto the tabernacle of the Lord shall die. Shall we be consumed with dying? So like I said, I believe the Lord's done this procedure so all of the different heads would obviously not only see what's actually just happened, okay, and they read up the censers as an ensign basically to the people, but he also did this procedure here to show that Aaron is who I've chosen to be the priest, basically, okay? So don't try and overthrow it. And that literally wraps up today's Bible study video. We've covered Numbers 16 and Numbers 17. Hit subscribe button, share this with your friends and your family so they can also enjoy this education, actually grow more and more through the scriptures as we continue through the Bible in 1 year. Thanks and take care.